Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Kamira and this is my review for Put a Ring on It Season 2, Episode 2. It's titled Flipping the Script. Before I get into the review, I want to just say thank you to those that have subscribed. I have hit my goal of 100 subscribers. And now I'm on the road to 150 and then to 200 subscribers. So if you guys like the video, don't forget to like it, but then also go ahead and click over to that subscribe button, okay? If you like any other 5 shows that I'm going to be reviewing, do us both a favor and go ahead and click subscribe, okay? All right, let's go ahead and get into the episode. It picks up where it left off last week with them asking Darian if he wants to go on a second date with Kai. And, you know, he says yes, he would like to go on a second date with Kai because he enjoyed the first date. And he kind of want to continue to have experiences with Kai. Alexia thinks it sounds like a relationship to her because it's like multiple dates. I mean, it's not girl, it's a date. But anyway, Dr. Nicole says, you know what, please give him space to experience his process, you know, for himself. And, you know, without you being defensive, you guys will find is room to grow in your relationship. So Darian says, you know what, I'm not trying to hurt Lex, but the dates can be tools to tighten up our relationship. I mean, I guess, but okay. Dr. Nicole says it's time to flip the script and that the women will be going on dates this week since, of course, the men had their dates last week. Sean and Eric was just like, I ain't ready. I don't want her to do it. But Darian says, you know what? Yes, I want her to experience what I experienced on my date. I mean, Kai was coming on real strong. She was real flirtatious. She was just like upfront with it. I don't know if she's gonna really get that from her dates, because I don't know, well, I guess men can be like that too, but I don't know. But anyway, Dr. Nicole says, you know what? I know it's uncomfortable, but I want you guys to remember why you are here, and if you all need it, she can do some home visits, you know, this week. First couple we see is Eric and Jessica at their house, and I did notice that all the couples live together. So they've taken that step of moving in together. And I wrote, she looked cute, she looked nice. She came down in her little yellow dress, and it was tight fitting, had boobs out, you can see her butt. She looked really nice. She said she is in love with Eric, but she want to see what another man can do for her. When she said can do for her, I was like, is that a financial thing? If somebody had more money, would you like go with them? Like, what did you mean what they could do for you? Just my observation. I don't want to read too much into it, but it kind of made me think about that. Okay, next, she asked him, did you have any advice for me on my dates? He was like, just say no. Just say no. He want to hold hands? No. He want to open the door? No. He want to feed you food? No. Just who want to hug? No. Just no to everything, basically. And he said, you know what, he is worried because she's a little bit flirtatious. Her date's name was Brandon. I thought it was Brandon, but it's Brandon. He called himself Mr. Steal Your Girl. Okay. Eric opened the door, shut the door in his face. But Brandon comes on in. He said he liked what he sees and that his day got better when he saw Jessica, because she's very pretty. Eric says that a deal breaker is cheating. So my question goes to, why do you guys have trust issues? Like, what is going on? Did you cheat before? Did she cheat before? When y'all were like, you know, decided to be together, where are the trust issues coming from? Because it seems like if a deal breaker for him is cheating also a deal breaker for Jessica? Because where are the trust issues coming from? I want them to like definitely talk about that more in this season. Okay. They go to the restaurant. She said she was excited and nervous and that Brandon was definitely her type. She wants to move forward, but it's definitely Eric. He's the one that's kind of holding it back. Brandon says he is 32, no kids. He's never had a girlfriend. And I could tell when he said that, I knew that she would not go on another date with him. Because he don't have, I mean, I just knew. When he said that, I was just like, nope. They discussed the future, but it was kind of pointless at that point because I knew she was not going to go out with him again. Next, we see Darian and Alexia, and she said she wants to enjoy her date. Her date was Chris. He said he was 41, an entrepreneur, and that he was a fitness trainer. Alexia was like, I hope he don't know who you are, so he don't like fan out, I guess, and like be like, oh, smoke, feel my, whatever. He opened the door, and he was kind of in his feelings a little bit because the guy looked nice, and he was just like, you can tell how you can just tell when people are uncomfortable. When people are uncomfortable, his body language was showing it. So I was just like, now it's your turn to be in the hot seat or be, at home looking crazy. Next, we see LaRonda and Sean meet with Dr. Nicole. He was nervous. I noticed how, I like that kind of stuff. LaRonda was like really affectionate towards him. She was rubbing his neck as Dr. Nicole was talking. Maybe their love language is like physical touch, because maybe that's what their love language is. I kind of wonder about that. But anyway, they discussed money and money management. They both kind of like take care of their things separately. But my thing was like, well, who pays y'all have a house or a townhouse, who pays the mortgage on the house? It may be LaRonda. He says that, being an entertainer, his income is inconsistent, and he feels like a bum for not really being able to provide. So again, my question is, who pays like the majority of the bills? Is it LaRonda? Like, if your money is inconsistent, how does that work? Like when y'all break down things. LaRonda says that she doesn't really care as long as he's giving love, showing love, building, and growing. She's good with, I guess, having the financial burden or financial responsibility. Let me not say burden because it's kind of, but maybe she's okay with that. He says that the family ideal, he says that he will provide the money, and the only thing that he saw his dad do was provide the money. Dr. Nicole says, you know what, you are wonderfully made. She kind of encouraged him to kind of keep going, and that you are not your dad. He says it weighs on him, and they're not his parents. He talks about he has a broken heart. He wants to like kind of get over these things with his hang-ups with his dad and that whole situation. And she was like, you don't want to get over it. Let's try to go through it, and find ways to be present in what you guys have today. Next, we see Alexia and Chris. I want to call her Lex because Darian calls her Lex, but Alexia. They go to the batting cages. And that's something that I want to do. I like going to do stuff. I mean, yeah, dinner and movie is cool, but like I want to go do an activity, like, something fun. So she says he was her type. She said he was the opposite of Darian. And I thought it was interesting because I feel like Darian used the same language to talk about Kai last week to describe her. But anyway, she said she felt comfortable. She tells him about playing overseas and, being with Darian. But they've been together for 14 years and they have not had conversations about marriage. And Chris was like, you know what? I get it. You're beautiful. Tell me, what do you like to do? She says going out, but he don't like that. And he was like, no, I want to know about you. What do you like to do? I ain't worried about what he got going on. What's going on with you? She claims to know who she is and know herself and all these good things, but she kind of later said she didn't know who she was. She did not know who she was in her relationship. So it's like, do you or don't you? She asked him, why is he single? Because he was attractive for sure. He was just like, you know what? He wants to date around and see their stars align, I guess, or their lifestyles align, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, she said it felt good to be with somebody who looked like him, because he was fine. And I'm kind of like, is she being for real, or is she basing that off of what Darian was saying and how Darian was describing Kai with the body yada yada? I'm just curious. Okay, now it is time for LaRonda's date. She had her boobs out, and Sean was like, can you put a pen in there to kind of hold it together? you could tell that he was uncomfortable. He was not liking it. And it's going to kind of come out a little bit down in my page of my notes. I'm sorry. So her date came in. His name was John. He was like, peace and blessings to you guys. Okay. They go to the Bailey wine cellar. LaRonda says he was good looking and he was decisive. He was able to make a decision on the wine really quickly. He didn't really kind of beat around the bush or whatever. He was very direct about what he wanted to do. He asked her about her vision. She definitely wants marriage and kids. And he says, well, I'm like a kid. And they wanted to get up and like throw grapes into each other's mouths or whatever. And she was for it. She was down. She kind of, I'm not going to say uptight is the word, but like, no, that's not the word to describe LaRonda. But I was surprised that she was down to do it. And she did. So they get up. He tossed grapes in her mouth and she was able to catch them. Mr. John was not able to catch them. She said, it was fun. It was goofy. It wasn't the norm of what she's used to. So it was a fun day. He said he had a song for her. He started singing it. She liked it. She said a good time was had by all. It was a good date. It surprised me, honestly. But I did not think that she would go out on a date with him again. But so they show us Sean at home while LaRonda is on his date. And he's really having a hard time with this. He was sad, emotional, doing push-ups. He called his friend. The friend says, you know what? You have to try to trust her. Like, trust who you're dating or whatever. He gets emotional. He says, I'm not okay. It comes out a little bit later that he actually got sick and was like throwing up because he was just so emotionally, I guess, stressed while she's on a date. And I'll get into that later too. But anyway, so now we are back with Dr. Nicole. All the women have had their dates. And she wants to know, well, how did they go? We start off with Alexia. She talks about how he looked good. Darian, he looked like a dork. Stop playing. And she was like, you know what? He let me talk. He listened to me. They get into how, after I guess both dates, they've been able to try to understand what each other needs, and that they have had a conversation for like 7-8 hours of just them talking about, I guess, life and, them and, just life in general. And I guess their dates are kind of helping them to progress and kind of communicate better with each other. I hope that's what it is, and not just both of y'all like scared that a person may leave you. I hope it's y'all really trying to like make this thing work. But anyway, Darren says they're trying to get the old us back, get that old thing back, I guess. So we go to Jessica. She says he was attractive. They were vibing, but they talk about how there is no trust in their relationship. That's why I'm like, where did it come from? How was the trust broken? Let's talk about that. I want to know more. Dr. Nicole says, so y'all think y'all finna build on this rocky foundation? Eric says they need trust, but they have some unresolved issues. And I'm just like, what are they? I hope they have one-on-one with Dr. Nicole too to kind of address these things. I'm like, is it cheating? Because if he cheated, you accepted it, you moved on. And vice versa. If she cheated, you accepted and moved on. So like, what are we doing here? I don't know. LaRonda says it was a good date. It was sweet. It was playful, whatever. Sean goes how he got sick and throwing up. And Dr. Nicole says, you're flooding yourself with the emotions of what happened because of your feeling about yourself. You're focused on what you thought it should be versus what it is now. So you're kind of missing out on, how it is with you and LaRonda right now. Sean says it's some kind of like foreshadowing of what he think is going to be, his dad situation. And when he said, I don't want to turn into my dad, Lord Jesus, it kind of did something to me because I do have a son. I am a single parent. His dad he's just not present. And I often wonder, will Carter have issues when it comes to like, stuff like that, I just don't want him to ever feel like, like he's not enough or he's just not great. So I try my best to pour into him. When they say like you're supposed to take responsibility, I don't know how else I can do that. I have, but girl, I don't know all that. Anyway, he has a real fear of turning into his dad. And I just pray that my son does not have to experience this type of like pain and hurt. Anyway, Dr. Nicole says, you know what, it's okay to be able to speak your truth, but let's not move in fear. And he knows that he is not his dad because he does not treat LaRonda the way his dad treated his mom. So he's already making strides to not be like his dad, basically. So there we go. So now they get into, do you guys want a second date or not? Alexia says no. Something just did not click with her and her date. And that she's learning to become more vocal when it comes to her and Darian's relationship. Jessica says no date, no second date, because of what I said earlier. The guy has never been in love. He's never had a relationship or whatever. And I just knew that kind of had turned her off when he said that. And Eric was all happy, grinning or whatever. LaRonda says no second date with John because of Sean. And I don't think that's fair. Okay, if LaRonda was being controlling by saying, you know, actions have consequences, is Sean not also being controlling and maybe a little bit, do I want to say manipulative with the like crying and, you know, you're physically making yourself sick? Like, is that kind of manipulative as well? Because she knows your response to her dates is going to make you all sick and upset, so she may not want to go on dates, and like that's the process. So Dr. Nicole wants them to, you know, make the decision for yourself, not based off of your partner and how they may feel, because that's what y'all signed up for, to go on other dates. So she lets them know on the next date, they're going to all be going on a date at the same time, at the same place. That one's gonna be good, y'all. I really think so. They show the whole, like, you know, we're gonna let go of hands comment that Alexia said in the Kai, and Darren was just like, it's not me, it's her. She holding my hand. It don't matter. If you wanted to let go, you would have got a way up out of there, but I don't know. It's gonna be good. I'm really enjoying this show. I think right now I'm only reviewing 2 shows. This one and Ready to Love, and right now Ready to Love about to end soon anyway. I have one more review of that, and then it'll be this show until the next one starts. I am really enjoying this show, you guys. Maybe a little bit too much. I would not sign up for this one. Ready to Love, I would sign up for. Put a ring on it, I would not. I ain't even strong enough. I can't even do it. I ain't gonna lie. But anyway, you guys, that was the end of my review. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you all on the next one. Bye.